Hello again, everyone. It's great seeing you again, and thanks for joining us for this Saturday's edition of Alaska Weather, 8th day of May, 2021. I'm Dave Percy, a meteorologist with the National Weather Service, and I'll be hosting today's show. Up first, the first graphic here, I believe, is, let's see, the breakup chart. Yes, the breakup map for today, May 8th. Yukon River there, pretty well iced in. Still a flood watch out for the Yukon River at Eagle. And that's due to the breakup front that's in Canada. Upstream, there's still several ice jams in areas of high water that are upstream from Eagle. And so there's a flood watch continues out there. Let's see, through Monday morning. And again, that's right at Eagle. And potential for some flooding when the breakup front passes. And also out to the southwest on the Kuskokwim River, we still have that flood watch out until 10 a.m. Sunday for the Kuskokwim Delta, Kalskag, Aniak, Kwethluk, those areas, potential for flooding, high water, again through tomorrow morning. Otherwise, not too bad. Kind of a nice breakup for the southern rivers, and the northern ones really haven't started breaking up yet. Aside from the Tanana, of course, that went out over a week ago, the tripod fell. Anyway, on to the hazardous weather graphic. Nothing on there except the two zones that have the flood watches in them there, the Kuskokwim Delta and the eastern interior there, over toward, specifically at Eagle. And so moving on to satellite imagery, a lot of clear skies over the northern Bering Sea again today. Some clouds shifting up into the Nunivak Island area and southwest coast, but you can see the ice out there over the northern Bering Sea, or the lack of it now, south of St. Lawrence Island, and continuing to thin out up that way, Norton Sound as well. Even on the western Arctic coast, some thin areas there on the west side, right about Point Leon down toward Point Hope. And mostly sunny skies there along the central interior today. Some sun in the Copper River Basin. Mostly cloudy though for Cook Inlet, Kenai Peninsula. Moisture lifting northward with that front that's just past Kodiak Island. Brought about an inch of rain in the last 12 hours to Kodiak State Airport. So you got some pretty good rain there. And but that was the heaviest amount reported today. And that same band of clouds stretches eastward and then right along the central and south coast of the Panhandle, but that's spreading rain across much of the area. Showers, Juneau this afternoon, east-southeast winds gusting 25 miles an hour, temperature 48 degrees with light rain there. And rainfall amounts, only a few hundredths there so far at Juneau, but let's see, Ketchikan had about 15 hundredths of an inch of rain there. And other areas had lighter amounts. Kodiak again with that nearly an inch falling there, the heaviest amount in the state. And eastern Arctic coast winds coming down from what they were yesterday and this afternoon, but still some light snow showers, flurries going on around Barter Island, Kaktovik there. About a hundredth of an inch water equivalent is all it is fallen in the last 12 hours there. Same thing at Tin City, Point Lay, about the same. Really no significant precipitation up over the northern or central interior today. And kind of cloudy skies, central southern Bering Sea into the Aleutians. Looks like a few sun breaks around the Fox Islands possibly, and maybe even to a greater extent over the Alaska Peninsula on the Bering Sea side. And it looks like some clearing about to move into Kodiak Island, especially from the south there, with that front lifting northward and weakening. Again, the areas of rain, Kenai Peninsula into the North Gulf Coast there. With, again, Cape Newenham had about 2/10 of an inch of precipitation there with the front out west there, and some showers up into the Yukon Delta. Pretty isolated, though, and scattered in nature. But the area for the Kenai Peninsula, not too bad. Some light rain, light snow showers showing up along the coast. Trying to push into Prince William Sound today, but again, winds light over the interior. Not too bad. Let's see, we had winds gusting to about 36 miles an hour there at, actually Caltag had gusts to 40 miles an hour earlier today, and still 30 to 40 miles an hour along the coast, southwest interior, Cape Newenham, about the same, 35 miles an hour. And up to the north there at area from Kelly on up to, let's see, Kelly to Point Lay, winds were gusting anywhere from 30 to 40 miles an hour to the east, diminishing on the east side and kind of increasing there on the west side. and they'll continue to decrease all areas over the next day or so up in that area. And for the forecast for tonight, lingering light snow, flurries, or showers, nothing significant or nothing that will accumulate to much at all there for the eastern Bowen Sea coast. Maybe the central to eastern North Slope, but south of the mountains, basically the same dry, light winds, fair amount of clearing, and then you pick the clouds up again, especially as you approach the Alaska Range. And south of the mountains, chance of rain and snow showers, Copper River Basin, Cook Inlet, South Central Alaska, Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta. Some of that moisture might slide up into the Seward Peninsula south side later tonight. St. Lawrence Island might pick up some clouds and the risk of some rain or snow showers. Otherwise, periods of rain for the Alaska Peninsula. And breezy, could see gusts 30-40 miles an hour. Higher gusts in the windiest areas like Cold Bay, that pattern. And lighter winds, but IFR flying under that low center in the central Aleutians. Low clouds, fog, drizzle, and light rain. Showers and areas of light rain for the southeast coast, North Gulf Coast as well, but improving with kind of weak high pressure out over the western Bering Sea, with a ridge extending down from the Russian Far East in towards Shimi and Attu. That'll make for light winds and dry conditions out that way. And that'll continue into tomorrow as well. Partly sunny skies, shower free, Amchitka Island to Shimi and Attu. Showers increase though toward Adak and Atka, and better chance though for the eastern Aleutians, Pribilofs, cloudy skies, occasional light rain, fog, drizzle. Southwest coast, periods of light rain, fog, and drizzle with that weakening front. Some of that'll spread into Kodiak Island. Showers continue, but not, shower chances continue, mostly cloudy sky, South Central Alaska. Best chance though, southern Kenai Peninsula, North Gulf Coast. Showers on the decrease of the Panhandle tomorrow, but lingering over toward the east and the north. Probably ending with some clearing there along the south coast, Prince of Wales Island. Not a bad afternoon. Lingering snow flurries or snow showers up over the eastern Beaufort Sea coast, and high pressure, partly mostly sunny skies again, central interior up to the Brooks Range, including the northwest coast. And for Monday, let's see, north of the Yukon River on out to the Arctic coast, dry, partly sunny skies in areas, Seward Peninsula, and other areas have some clouds, central western Arctic coast. But no precipitation, and showers over the eastern interior from about the Fairbanks area, White Mountains, eastward Chena, in toward near or south of Eagle, down to North Wyandotte. Chance of showers in the afternoon. That front pushes across the Gulf of Alaska, spreads rain into the central and south coast, across southern Panhandle during the day on Monday. May stay dry from about Juneau up to Skagway, Haines area. And scattered showers along the southwest coast. A weak trough with some showers over the Alaska Peninsula and the Pribilofs. Weak high pressure will make for dry conditions, light winds from the area from Atka all the way out to Shimi and Attu. And for the lows tonight, lower to mid-40s for the Panhandle, and mid-30s or in the 30s to near 40, South Central Alaska. Sparrowvon low near 40, same thing for Homer. Palmer low about 40, lower 30s Copper River Basin, but plus side of freezing. Kodiak near 40, upper 30s Bristol Bay. And up in the interior, 30s to near 40. That 40-degree low forecast at Fairbanks. Lower 20s though for the Brooks Range, and say 5 to 15 or so for the North Slope and Arctic coast. In the 20s, Kotzebue Sound, northern Seward Peninsula, St. Lawrence Island. Mid to upper 30s though, southern Seward Peninsula. Lower 40s in the southwest interior. And in the 30s over the Bering Sea and the Aleutians, Alaska Peninsula, upper 30s to lower 40s. Highs for tomorrow, 55 to 60 Copper River Basin, mostly in the 50s. Kenai Peninsula to upper 50s to near 60 for the Susitna Valley. 58 to 62, say, for the McGrath-Nikolai area. Mid-50s Bristol Bay at the warmest, and 40s to lower 50s for the Panhandle. Mid-40s Kodiak Island. Highs 55 to 65 up in the interior there, with 55 to 60 degree readings right on out to the lower Yukon-Kuskokwim River Valley areas. And North Slope, maybe into the lower 30s. Arctic coast, though, holding in the lower to mid-20s, especially on the central and east side. Mid-30s St. Lawrence Island. Lower 40s for the Bering Sea and the Aleutians, to mid to upper 40s for the Alaska Peninsula. Lows the following morning in the 40s for the Panhandle. 30s near 40 southern Alaska, Kodiak Island, Bristol Bay. In the 30s, 35 to 40 for the central interior. Still lower teens for the Arctic coast, portions of the North Slope, but 20s and 30s there for the Bering Strait, and 30s for the Bering Sea and the Aleutians. Highs for Monday afternoon, upper 40s to mid 50s for the Panhandle, 55 to 60, or in the 50s, lower 60s, southern Alaska, Kuskokwim Valley, upper 40s, lower 50s, Bristol Bay. Call it 60 to 65 in the greater Fairbanks area from Tanana eastward to North Waitok Eagle, otherwise lower to mid-20s on the Arctic coast, and in the lower 40s out over the Bering Sea.
And now, aviation weather around Alaska.
First line weather graphic, a lot of IFR out over the Bering Sea. Most of the Aleutians right up across St. Lawrence Island into the Yukon Delta, Nunivak Island, Alaska Peninsula. Bristol Bay, marginal VFR with some IFR in over southern Cook Inlet from Kachemak Bay to Kamishak Bay through the Kamishak Gap into southern Kuskokwim Valley and the Auckland Mountains. And some IFR central eastern Arctic coast on down to the eastern Brooks Range. VFR eastern interior north of the Alaska Range in the northern Kuskokwim Valley. And IFR southern panhandle, marginal VFR to the north. And IFR roughly from Cape St. Elias westward across Montague Island, southern Kenai Peninsula areas of marginal VFR, Copper River Basin. And for the afternoon, we've got, let's see, there we go. IFR central eastern Arctic coast, improving there for the Brooks Range, and actually in the interior seeing an improvement as well. And the IFR now off the coast of off the southwest coast, except for Cape Newenham, still covering Nunivak Island and the Pribilof, St. Lawrence Island, Adak, all the way over to Cold Bay, south side of the Alaska Peninsula, and quite an extensive area there up the east side of Kodiak Island. Not so much in southern Cook Inlet now, pulling out of Kamishak and probably Kachemak Bays, but marginal for the area south of the Forelands and western Cook Inlet up to the Alaska Range. Southern Copper River Basin, IFR North Gulf Coast, and Lynn Canal, IFR, otherwise marginal for the Panhandle, but becoming VFR there from about Mount Edgecombe on down across Prince of Wales Island, Dixon Entrance. And then for Monday morning, that improving trend continues for the Panhandle. VFR Monday morning there. IFR, again, eastern North Gulf Coast a little bit. Areas of marginal VFR in over southern Alaska to about the Alaska Range. Interior, VFR, IFR Arctic coast into the Northwest Valleys, Kobuk Valley, Kotzebue Sound, Northern Seward Peninsula. IFR Central Eastern Bering Sea from the Bering Strait right down across the Fox Islands and Alaska Peninsula. And for the afternoon, Monday, that area pretty much stays put out there. IFR from Cape Lisburne, Point Hope, down to Shishmaref through the Strait, Central Eastern Bering Sea. Becoming VFR there for the Central Aleutians, marginal for the Western Aleutians, IFR Fognak Island, right around Chiniak Marmot Bay, or just to your east, across the Gulf to the coast of the Panhandle, marginal VFR, not quite up into northern Cook Inlet, probably into portions of eastern Turnagain Arm, North Gulf Coast, maybe the Wrangell Mountains, and Bristol Bay. Passes Anatuvik and Anigan, occasionally marginal tomorrow, and for Lake Clark and Merrill, same forecast, occasional marginal VFR during the day Sunday, rainy, occasionally marginal. Windy though, VFR looking good there. Isabel, possibly marginal at times, and Mentasta back to VFR. Tanita back to marginal, and for Portage, maybe starting out IFR, otherwise kind of a marginal VFR day for Sunday, gradually improving in the afternoon though. And Chilkoot and White, marginal VFR, may go IFR during the afternoon. Freezing levels, 6,000 feet, central interior, starting to see that summertime pattern of the thermal trough over the interior with the longer day lengths now, more heating. 2,000 feet, northern panhandle, 4,000 there, Alaska Peninsula, and about 2,000 out over the Bering Sea. Icing, a little bit of heavier rime icing possible, considerable moderate, maybe showing up along the south coast of the Alaska Peninsula in that narrow band, otherwise light to isolated moderate Kodiak Island, up along Bristol Bay to Nunivak Island, and maybe some leftover icing potential North Gulf Coast in the Panhandle. Jet stream, main jet to the south, upper level low just north of the Fox Islands, and some ridging over the central interior going along with the higher freezing levels. Otherwise, not too significant in the wind speeds at this elevation over the state. Different story at 9,000 feet, 25 to 45 knot winds there in across Bristol Bay, lighter out over the Aleutians, and for 3,000 feet. Pretty good breeze there, 40 knots across Kodiak Island. Bristol Bay picks up about 45 knots right around Cape Newenham and Kuskokwim Bay, 25 for the Alaska Peninsula, 30 knots out of the east there just southwest of Nunivak Island, maybe 20 knotters there on the central Arctic coast, but light over the interior and the Panhandle. Really not too bad out over the central western Aleutians of the Bering Sea. Pretty light winds here at 3,000 feet. Turbulence-wise, with those wind conditions and the terrain, Kodiak Island or Shelikof Strait, Aleutian Range, northeast Bristol Bay, looking at considerable moderate turbulence, maybe a little bit of light to isolated moderate chop, smaller aircraft, eastern Beaufort Sea coast. And after the break, I'll be back with a look at the marine forecasts.
So my heart is definitely racing. I don't know about anyone else's. This is the stuff nerds dream of.
10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6,
It's gonna
5,
happen.
4, 3, 2.
That countdown you just heard? We'll get back to that in a minute. Last episode, we saw the epic launch of ICESat-2, NASA's newest state-of-the-art ice-observing satellite. But now that that's in orbit, the pressure to deliver results is on.
Between launch and, the first ground returns, took 17, 18 days or something like this. It's a time when you're quite nervous.
9 years ago, Dr. Torsten Marcus took over as the lead project scientist for ICESat-2 during a time when the mission needed a champion.
You start fighting for a mission over, for 9 years now.
So when ICESat-2 was turned on for the first time 18 days after it was launched, only then would the science team know if the whole thing had worked. And it did. If it sounds like there's a lot of noise in the background, that's because Torsten is being interviewed from a plane 1,500 feet in the air. IceBridge was tasked with the job of bridging the data between the end of ICESat's mission and the beginning of ICESat-2, about a 9-year difference.
The goal is that it would run until ICESat-2 launched and then would have overlap with ICESat-2 as well, so we can get a really long, well-calibrated time series from IceBridge.
As the deputy project scientist for Operation IceBridge, Brick works closely with Torsten to make sure the two missions are syncing up.
The timing was everything during that mission, which was a real challenge because not only do we need to...
Basically what you need to take away is getting an airplane and a satellite in space to fly over the same flight path at the same time and collect matching data is really, really hard. IceBridge was tasked with two objectives: check the accuracy of ICESat-2's data over land ice and over sea ice. They were able to lock in the land ice data fairly quickly in the mission, but the sea ice data...
It was really tricky. We waited day after day. Do we fly the sea ice? It's still on our list.
7, 6,
It's gonna
5,
happen.
4, 3, 2, 1. Mark on the overpass 0435, 350.
Here's what just happened. A plane 1,500 feet up and a satellite 308 miles up measured the same sea ice at the same time. This moment finally linked veteran mission Operation IceBridge's data to that of its new sister mission, ICESat-2. Two projects that, until now, were separate for nearly 10 years.
It's a very satisfying feeling because you do something that is meaningful and in the bigger picture. And yeah, it's very satisfying.
Our search for knowledge doesn't end here. Grace Follow-On and ICESat-2, the two satellite missions that launched this year, will continue to bring in incredible data for the foreseeable future. The steady drumbeat of campaigns in the field goes on, but most of all, the people who look for answers will never stop searching. And from our perspective, it's pretty clear why. What is your favorite planet in the solar system?
My favorite planet is the planet Earth.
What? Earth? Really?
The Earth, obviously.
Favorite planet in the solar system? Earth, right? We live on it. It's a really important one.
Favorite planet is Earth.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, so when you look out at the other planets, they're absolutely fascinating. They've got all sorts of interesting systems going on. They've got dust storms. But then when you're on another planet, looking back at Earth, I mean, it's just incredible.
Whenever you go in different places, it looks so different, so amazing. It's just, I love the planet Earth. It's just a very special planet. This is our home.
We've seen things far beyond the solar system. But even with all that, even the amazing things we've seen, one of the most amazing is the Earth itself.
It's got to be Earth. It's got to be Earth.
It's got to be here. I like the polar regions of here, of Earth. Yeah, sorry. It's very boring.
Earth is good.
Earth is good.
We live here, it sustains our life.
I'm not going to turn my back on it.
It's got water, it's got ice, it's got vegetation. I mean, it's rich with life. And so studying Earth is a very, very rewarding career. And I think if we were on any other planet, we would be trying to get to Earth as quickly as we could.
And now, marine weather around Alaska.
Welcome back. Looking at today's sea ice analysis. Not a lot different from yesterday. Continuing to slowly dissolve out there along the southwest coast and south of St. Lawrence Island, even to the north of St. Lawrence Island, and the Bering Strait starting to open up now, as well as slowly thinning there in Norton Sound. And from there, going on to the coastal water forecasts. Looking at light winds over the central southern inside waters of the Panhandle, variable 10 knots, seas 2 feet or less. South 15 for Lynn Canal, light winds on the south coast, out of the west at 10 knots with 7-foot seas, and westerlies at 20 knots on the north coast, seas 8 feet. And small craft advisories for the entire stretch of the outer coastline for Monday, coming up south to southeast 25 to 30 knots on the south coast, seas around 10 feet, and the north coast, east-southeast 25 to 30 knots. 20-knot winds for Clarence Strait out of the southeast, just 10 knots though for Stevens Passage, and about 15 for Lynn Canal. Cook Inlet, variable to northeast, say tomorrow, light though, 10 knots, seas 2 to 3 feet. East 20 for Kamishak Bay, southeast 20 for the Barren Islands, 7-foot seas, and south to southeast 15 knots is about it for the North Gulf Coast with 7-foot seas, and Prince William Sound northeast at 15. Outlook for Monday, light winds, light variable winds 10 knots, call it for Prince William Sound, 2-foot seas or less. East 20 knots for the North Gulf Coast, 5-foot seas, about the same for the Barren Islands and Kamishak Bay. Cook Inlet, variable winds at 10 knots, seas 3 feet or less. Kodiak Island, small craft advisories tomorrow on the east side there, southeast 25 knots, and also from Sitkinak to Castle Cape, southeasterlies at 25. Shelikof Strait, east at 20. But 30-knot winds out of the east for Bristol Bay, and southeast 25 knots there on the Bering Sea side of the Alaska Peninsula, and from Cape Sarachev to Castle Cape, looking at southerlies at 20 knots. And for Monday, southeast 20 for Bristol Bay, east-southeast 15 knots Kodiak Island, Sitkinak to Cape Sarachev, 15 to 20 knots out of the southwest, and light southerlies on the Bering Sea side of the peninsula at 15. Fox Islands tomorrow, Unalaska Island, southwest 10 to 15 knots, and on average, south winds 10 to 15 for Unmac Island. So pretty light, not bad wind-wise anywhere out in the Aleutians tomorrow. Adak and Atka, maybe northwest 20. Same thing for Amchitka, 15-knot winds for the western Aleutians. And then for Monday, Shimia to Kiska, south at 20. Amchitka Island, southwest 20. Adak and Atka, pretty light, really laid down pretty good there, southwest at 10, 4 to 5-foot seas. And variable winds 5 to 15 knots for the eastern Aleutians, but south on the Pacific side though probably west at 15. Southwest coast, small craft advisory south of Nunivak Island, and for east winds 25 knots, east 20 knots there along the Yukon Delta coast, St. Matthew Island, northeast 20 for St. Lawrence Island, and light winds for the Pribilofs and Norton Sound. For Monday, Southeast 10 for the Pribilofts. Otherwise, east winds 15 knots for the southwest coast, 3-foot seas. Northeast 15 and seas at 3 feet for St. Lawrence Island and the northern Bering Sea, east at 20. And winds not too bad, eastern Beaufort Sea coast now, 15 to 20 out of the east tomorrow, 20 knots for the central coast. Brisk wind advisories, though, western Arctic coast. That'll be the windiest area now up there, east at 25, and from Cape Thompson to Cape Beaufort, east at 20, and then from Cape Thompson to Wales, north at 10. And northeast, 10 to 15 knots, Wales to Cape Beaufort. Otherwise, the Arctic coast, east at 20. For tonight, lingering snow flurries, light snow showers, nothing more than, if you melted it down, be more than 1/100th of an inch, if that, and cloudy skies, but drier with more of an offshore flow condition there to the west. Chance of rain and snow showers, southern Alaska, that trough washing out along the coast. Same thing for the Panhandle, continuing with the weather you had today, tonight. And a little breezy for the Alaska Peninsula, periods of rain, and some of that getting up down to the southwest coast, mostly in the form of showers, though, with less wind, kind of breezy around the low center there in the central Aleutians, improving for the far western Aleutians. And for tomorrow, showers on the decrease, especially on the south coast of the Panhandle tomorrow, but kind of lingering around up to the north. Same thing for the North Gulf Coast. General diminishing of the shower activity, but they won't end completely. Interior looking pretty good with some sunshine, especially farther to the north. Lingering snow showers eastern Beaufort Sea coast. That front weakening will spread some light rain to Kodiak Island, keeping it damp along the southwest coast, Bristol Bay, Alaska Peninsula. And then for Monday, weak high pressure at the surface, but still mostly cloudy with showers southern Alaska, increasing rain on the southeast coast, showers Kodiak Island, and dry over the northern part of the state with possible sunshine, and not too bad out over the Aleutians with weak high pressure.
These forecasts are for planning purposes only. Call 1-800-WX-BRIEF for a formal pre-flight briefing. Always file a flight plan before you go flying. The U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary urges you to leave a float plan with a friend or the harbor master before you go boating.